Evade window, one of the best skills in Monster Hunter, easily takes the silver medal, right behind my personal gold, earplugs. I mean, yeah, objectively speaking, more people do use evade window more often. And I'm willing to say this skill is straight up amazing. It extends your invincibility duration when you perform dodge type moves like dodge rolls, side steps, back hops, back steps, dashes, and the like. That's why I love slapping this skill into every armor set I make. But to be honest, back when I first started playing Monster Hunter World, I didn't even glance at the evade window. I mean, my top priority at the time was earplugs, which was expensive and clearly ate up a lot of slots, so I had to make the hard call to leave evade window behind. But after playing for a while, I went back to tweak my armor sets. Turns out I could fit in evade window just fine. And ever since then, this skill has become one of my top priorities, right alongside earplugs, obviously. Like I said earlier, this skill extends your invincibility window when dodging, which is also widely known as iFrames in gaming terms, short for invincibility frames. These are the few precious frames where your hunter is completely immune to damage, even if an attack visually looks like it should connect. To give you an idea, as far as I know, if you play at 60 FPS, that's frames per second if you somehow didn't know, a standard dodge roll gives you 13 frames of invincibility. Since 60 FPS means 60 frames in 1 second, that translates to 13 over 60 seconds of immunity. Do the math, and that's roughly 0.216667 seconds of iframe. Blink and you'll miss it. Other moves have their own iframes values too. For example, the dual blades dash in demon mode, or demon dash, gives you 14 frames. Sword and Shield's back hop gives you 22 frames. And Longsword's foresight slash gives you a whopping 45 frames. Talk about favoritism. I got these numbers from Taxman HH's video titled The Artful Dodger, iFrames and Basics of Dodging. Links in the description. Just to make it clear, this video talks about iframes in World Iceborne, but I assume the data still applies in Wilds. If you want to calculate how long those moves makes you invulnerable, just use the same math. Divide the number of iframes by your FPS. For example, 22 divided by 60 equals 0.36667 seconds for the SNS back hop. Now, what if you're not playing at 60 FPS? Simple. The iframe duration in seconds doesn't change. It's a fixed value. What changes is how many frames are needed to match that same time span. No matter your FPS, your invincibility duration in seconds stays the same. Let's say you're running 120 FPS. What we want to find is how many of those 120 frames equals 0.216667 seconds. Let's call the number we're trying to find as iframe. The formula then becomes iframe over 120 equals 0.216667. Since 0.216667 came from 13 over 60, we can substitute that in. iframe over 120 equals 13 over 60 means iframe equals 13 over 60 times 120. And the result is 26 frames. So at 120 FPS, you get 26 iframes during a dodge roll. FPS is basically an adjustable parameter here. The number of iframes changes depending on your frame rate. So the math works for any frame rate. Just swap in your FPS and you're good. That's why people often recommend locking your FPS in Monster Hunter or any action game in general. You know, to make your gameplay experience more consistent and smoother overall. Or at least, that's how I understand it. If I got something wrong, feel free to correct me. I don't want to be spreading misinformation here. Okay, nerdy math stuff aside, evade window increases your iframe duration. According to Michael MH's video titled How Many Iframes Does Evade Window Give You? Links also in the description. Here's how it breaks down. Level 1 adds 2 frames. Level 2 adds another 2 frames. Level 3 adds another 2. Level 4 adds 3 more. Level 5 adds 4 more. That's cumulative, by the way. So at max level, you get an extra 13 frames. Which means, with a level 5 evade window, your total iframe duration hit 26 frames. That's almost half a second of invincibility. Well, again, this is all based on 60 FPS. If you're running a different frame rate, you can just recalculate using the method from earlier. This skill is basically the king of comfort. Dodging monster attacks become noticeably easier, and you're more likely to follow up with a counterattack right after. You still need decent timing though, but it's way more forgiving than going in butt naked without evade window. Speaking of timing, this is also a good timing to subscribe. I'm making this quote-unquote love and hate theme into a series, so if you don't want to miss out, by order of the guild, subscribe to my channel. Anyways, that's not even mentioning perfect dodge mechanics on certain weapons. With those, a well-timed dodge actually rewards you. Like with the bow, you pull off a perfect dodge and instead of losing stamina, you get it back. Doesn't really make any sense, but nah, what do I know. Or with dual blades, you unlock a second demon mode with blue aura if you dodge perfectly. Evade window definitely helps you land those perfect dodges more consistently. Well, I haven't tested it myself though, since I'm still playing wild as a hammer-only hunter. The only time I pick up other weapons is in the arena quests. But in theory, it makes total sense. If you've actually tried it, let me know in the comments. I'm curious to hear how much it actually helps. So, yeah. That's why evade window has become one of my highest priority skills. Honestly, it's even more universal than earplugs. I only prioritize earplugs when I'm playing hammer, but evade window, I use it with everything. Whatever the weapon I'm using, whatever the quest is, evade window is always on the loadout. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching, and as always, remember to stay away from poaching and hunt within regulations. Peace.